Hey everybody, if you're watching this, thank you. Also, if you're watching this for the first time, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. All right, so we back for another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It Don't Make Sense, Season 9, Episode 11. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. You know, I've been mad that we didn't get a snow day or snow significantly, and that, quite frankly, New York is too prepared for snow, New York City. But this episode gave, okay? If there was one thing this week that was okay, this was. Anyway, Mel. So we start off with Mel. So Mel let Kimmy come over to her castle. We know she don't usually let nobody in her house. Y'all are so stupid. While I'm on it, the cast, y'all are dummies. You see how Mel has started to move different right before y'all's eyes? So she'll meet y'all at a restaurant or a public place where people can see how crazy y'all act. So maybe y'all will be more restrained. And you know, and then when it comes to her having you over, she does not go to y'all's houses like that. She don't really go to anybody's house. Because in the Deep South, you know, them Southern laws don't play about protecting somebody's property. Okay, and I think that's why Mel always has y'all on her territory. Now, you see she ain't crazy enough to meet y'all inside y'all's house so y'all can ambush her again. So even at Trisha's, she was at the barbecue outside, okay? She was not playing them kind of games. So anyway, with several other people while she was outside. So she told her, thank you for coming to Melody and Mimosa. So Kimmy said, yeah, you know, whatever. So you and Fletcher still hang out, right? And she said, we don't hang out, but we're fine. Then she brought up, Kimmy, people had said things about you, but I'm going to be honest. It took me till season 8 to really see you, because I really felt like you were somebody kind of between a rock and a hard place, because you kind of had to have Tisha's back because of her fuck shit and the fact that she's technically family. But Kimmy, it's not just that you're messy, because people watch these shows for many reasons. It's that I think you're mean, and you're the worst kind of mean, because you try to pretend like you're neutral. So anyway, so she brings this up. So she brings up how at this open house they had a conversation about how Tisha and Martell met and how it wasn't as random as people thought. Who said we thought it was random? Like her DMing him out the blue and shit. Didn't nobody believe that, but you, Kimmy. You and Tisha probably believed it because Martell told y'all. Or whatever. All right? So she said, well, Fletcher told him to reach out to Trisha. Now, as she's telling Mel this, I don't give a damn that they're divorced. Okay? Her and Martell. And since Maurice wanted to throw it in her face that she went through something very public and embarrassing, then why would you bring this up to her, Kimmy? Especially, Kimmy, when you were the one gossiping about Mel to Trish and said, why does she even care that you were with Martell in the first place? Why does she still care? So why are you still feeling the need to bring it up if that's the case? I can't rock with that. I can't and I won't. So Mel did what you're supposed to do. Excuse me, I have a cough. Mel did what you're supposed to do in situations like that. Don't ever let them see you sweat, because that's what they want, and that's what people like that live for, especially jealous people. They refuse to work just as hard so they can get the kind of things that you have. No. They just gonna hate you for having it, okay? However, somebody who was married, when we talk about Mel, who was married and had 4 kids with him and built a family and things like that, there is no way this is not another dig in her. It's not. Her kids are still dealing with this divorce. And those kind of things hurt a mother to hear about when they know their kids will eventually hear about it and know about it. And it's on TV. And those kids are getting older. And you know how good kids are with technology and things like that. So I just say that to say, don't act like people don't have the right to have feelings about it. You only brought it up because you wanted her to have feelings about it. Anyway, Mel said, this is the first she's hearing about it. Even though she had, and I had forgotten about this, she had met with Nell, I guess whatever for us last week. I don't know if it was just a few days before, and helped her try on wedding dresses and everything, and she didn't mention it. She sure didn't, because all of them jealous of you. So she said, but she was crying about you not calling her a mentor. And now you see why you're not, Nell, you dummy. Anyway, Kimmy said they all felt away because they thought they were the glue for Mel and Martell. I never thought that. And Kimmy, you didn't either. All right, so anyway, and honestly, Kimmy, you are happy to hear it and bring it back. And like I said, you disappointed me, Kimmy, because it really took me until season 8 to see you for you. Okay, Mel was like, the fact of the matter is that Fletcher was a cheater, and he was Martell's mentor. We shouldn't be surprised. I said, ooh, you came to get her, but she, you got God. So anyway, then Kimmy said, does that, leave you all at a regular place? Her and Trish. Mel was like, what's a regular place? And Kimmy said, well, she said that you were messy. Mel said, excuse me? She said, I'm the one who showed up to her kids' graduation with cards with money. I said, ooh, that's a read for the people that didn't bring nothing. And the fact, she said that if anybody should feel away, it's me. Because she was still fucking my husband while I was married to him. I said, woo, woo, woo. See, she ain't trying to hide the same stuff y'all trying to hide. By getting mad about anybody bringing up Maurice's DUI and shit. Mel don't have to cover like that. All right, anyway, Kimmy was like, they both say that didn't happen, Mel. Mel starts laughing and said, nobody believes that. And I was thinking to myself, and Kimmy, you didn't come to her defense. So all you did was prove to us you believe it. You don't believe it either. You really ain't nobody's friend, honestly, because not saying anything says you agree. You are not slick. So anyway, we get Tisha, who goes to meet Destiny at some kind of buffet, Golden Corral, somewhere where they put your number on the table. These people kill me trying to act like they be living a life and all these Chanel purses, and then they go and eat at places like this regularly, okay? Might as well have gone to Five Guys. Anyway, she says she hasn't seen her girl Destiny since the field day. That doesn't sound like that's your girl to me. Anyway, and I was like, yeah, that's probably because y'all are filming alliances. So y'all get scenes together so you can make money, but y'all are not friends. You and Kimmy really want us to act like y'all were always cool with Destiny. Y'all started hanging with Destiny out of nowhere because she fell out with Mel. Y'all are so fucking fake, I can't take it. Anyway, so they're having this boring conversation, so boring that production must have got bored when they were putting this together, and they start doing that slow motion stupid music to remind us that it's dumb, like we don't already see it for what it is. It's a whack ass scene because they're not friends. Next, then Martell shows up to the spot like the bitch that he is. Destiny told him that she was hanging with Tisha, and he said he decided to pop up. Destiny knew he was coming. For him to say he showed up, Martell is telling us in the confessional that he showed up to see if Tisha was really owed an apology or vice versa was crazy. Because he's saying that after that incident happened. That's wild to me. For her to sit at that table, and I mean Destiny at this point, for her to sit at that table and say, I hate that y'all are in this place. No, you don't. Because you had that stupid smirk on your face when Tisha got up and walked out. You don't hate that. Because if you really hated it, you would have given her a fucking heads up. But you knew she'd say no. Tisha got up and walked away from that meal while she was still chewing and was like, I'm out of here. She didn't waste a second. She said, I cannot sit here with the enemy without my husband. Walked out and drove out. And honestly, Tisha, that was the right thing to do. But I would have been mad as hell and cursed Destiny's bitch ass out at the park where she likes to hang because it's free. Anyway, honestly, Tisha, you could have left that little caveat out without my husband. That to me was absolutely unnecessary, because after Martell disrespected me like that, it would have been a no for me, because I don't rock with you. Because you're my enemy and you showed it, and that's it. I would have left it there. And Destiny, you're an enabler of the worst kind. Because Martell is your friend, but you don't really correct him. In fact, you encourage it. He's a liar. He's a cheater and has done terrible things to Mel that you know about, that we probably don't even know about. And other women at this point, I'm sure. For you to say, I'm proud of you for trying what? It's that same tagline his mother gives him. He didn't plan to apologize. He's a bitch who wanted to ambush Tisha because Marceau wasn't there. And Tisha doesn't have the rah-rah personality. And quite frankly, he's a man, a tall one, standing over somebody who's like 5'3". Okay? Miss me. And then he wanted to be able to say, I'm going to tell you what Martell was trying to do. He damn sure wasn't trying to like work up no apology or anything, but he wanted to be able to use it against Marceau and be like, well, your wife sat down and talked to me while we were eating, trying to make it seem like it's something that it's not. He's that kind. And Tisha, honestly, you deserve that. You deserve that from Destiny. Because you and Destiny weren't friends. Y'all just don't like Mel. And it was never going to be sustainable. So I hope you got that memo too while you were at it. So Tisha didn't waste no time though. She drove straight over to Marceau, whose house is still in the same condition we saw 6 seasons ago, because Martell loves staying in an almost built house and pretending like he's doing construction. Anyway, he said, well, I think it was very responsible that you left because he can't protect her if she's not there. And we'll get to him being there and still not protecting her. But he said he doesn't trust Martell to restrain himself. And you don't know what could have happened. And see, that caused me to pause. And that's how I know, y'all know, Martell was treating Mel badly. Really bad. Because, see, you only thought that that's kind of a possibility. He doesn't restrain himself. But when he threatened a sex tape, Marceau, you were sending messages to a reporter talking about, yeah, but free Martell. This is what happens when you enable an abuser. And I don't know if he ever put his hands on Mel or anything. But to some degree, that was emotional abuse. Continuing to put her down, saying that it's her fault that he's cheating, all this other stuff. And the fact that you don't know what he's capable of. I don't think you would have said that if it was Fletcher standing there. You would not have anticipated Fletcher would ever get that far out of character. You see what I mean? Anyway, Destiny and her father going fishing. This actually was a nice scene. So she's prepping for her Madani launch for the 72nd time, child. Just, never mind. Slaw, keep it together. Keep it together. All right. Which is named for her grandmother and her father. She looks just like that man. She said she is going to always worry about him. And he's trying to tell her not to worry. And I was like, my mother is like that. And I'm just like, no. I can't not worry. All right, I didn't realize her mom had a bad drug addiction. She may have told this story already. I don't know. And she was in foster care, and her father fought to get her to him full custody. And, you know, she talks about how she was really upset, and any kid would be. And he said, he told the lawyer, I don't care how much it costs. I'm going to give back. And see, that's what a real man does. A real man will do whatever the fuck he has to make sure his kid is safe and she's okay. And that was a really sweet scene. And that was a story worth telling. Destiny, see, if you told your story and didn't spend so much time holding it in, because there's so many times when she looks like she just wants to burst into tears and she refuses to do it. Maybe we could find something about you that we found like, okay, that's why she is the way she is. And you know what? I know people like her, and you know what? And for that reason. But see, you don't do that. You don't do that. You go back to this default pretending to be tough. Speaking of pretending, then we get Destiny pretending to date Nell's son because they both can use the money and want to create a scene. So Tisha shows up to the storage space. That's all that shit is. And I want her to quit acting like... See, Destiny, as I try to give you a moment, you do stuff like this. Tisha said she shows up because she's over the brunch thing. I said, you just not going to address this at all? Okay, girl. Anyway, I'd be damned if I come to support somebody after she ambushed me with a man and saw the very thing that made me not ever want to be bothered with him again. Okay, yeah, Tisha, you somebody else that needs to reevaluate everybody, your family, your friend circle, because you was really getting... I thought you caught some strays at field day, but people really fucked with you this episode. Anyway, so Destiny finds out she wasn't invited to the Mel and Mimosas. Bitch, why would you expect to be invited? Because Kimmy brought it up. She wouldn't have known had Kimmy not brought it up. Kimmy knew she wasn't there for a reason. And then brought up how she saw Sonny. And brings up how Moses is back in jail. Like, Kimmy, This girl is clearly affected by the fact that Sunny was like her close friend. And I will still continue to say it. Sunny and Moses are on some bullshit. No, I don't believe they fell in love. Yes, I do believe Moses was trying to get her back. And no, I do not think that Sunny is with him because she loves him. I think she was jealous of Destiny. She wanted something she had and she took it. And she was a fake ass fucking friend. Because Destiny, there's nothing about Destiny that strikes me as the kind of person who can go around saying somebody is her friend and she was telling them all this and all that and she really didn't believe it. Because we know she don't really talk to Kimmy and Tisha. They fake on screen. But the way she's hurt tells me that she's not lying about that. Anyway, so Destiny says she's not surprised that Sunny is in Huntsville on Mel's invite list because Sunny is thirsty and Mel is vengeful. This coming from the same woman who invited Martell to ambush Tisha? No, ma'am. You are not the one to speak on that. So Destiny, who's thirsty herself for airtime, brings up how she's in charge of having a bachelorette party for Nell. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest on this one. Because I know y'all don't know why I'm laughing. I'm going to be honest. Because I did not see the read coming. I really didn't. When Tisha and Kimmy both said, with a level of genuine surprise, bachelorette, as old as she is, she's married, all them kids she got, I said, damn, y'all know what she meant? Damn. See now, and this is like, you ain't nobody's fucking mentor. So anyway, I said, ooh, and you could tell, like, they was just not here for it. And they said, if you throw a party, you need to change the name. I said, oh, I did not see this coming. Destiny. Don't you only know Nell because of your former friendship with Mel? And we can't even say it's the Martell thing. Because then you'd be much more familiar with Fletcher. Miss me with the bullshit. Okay, just miss me. So Mel didn't skip a beat. Okay? She met up with Fletcher to get to the bottom of it. The same way Tisha went scurrying up to make sure Marceau knew about Martell. But this is different. Because Mel sat on it. But she was prepared, honey. So anybody who says Mel shouldn't care, it's about Martell and their former marriage, and so she needs to get over it. It's not just about that. But it's also about the people that she's considered her friend and then trying to place them where they belong in her current life because they may not have been friends all along. And trust me, that is always a hurtful revelation. So it's not just about that. Okay, so you can spare me getting in my comments with that one. Anyway, so she tells him she has some questions about how he hooked up Martell with Trish. Chris Fletcher is somebody who's been lying for a long time. You can tell. He thinks that if he sticks with the same bullshit story, we're going to start believing it. I cracked up the way Mel was eating and chewing that popcorn and just letting him dig himself into a straight hole all the way to China. So Fletcher is used to doing that same Jedi mind trick on Nell. And not because I think Nell is stupid, but because I think she just don't want to be bothered with the truth. Like Maurice does to Kimmy. Anyway, so she brought up the conversation. The same way Mel has told us this story. She's brought it up before, and she has told it the same way. Nothing has changed. Martell's story always changes because he's always lying. And she said when they had some big fight, like right before she really left, Martell told her she needs to go talk to some older women about marriage, I guess about what she should accept and put up with. And she said, well, I told him he needs to go talk to some older men. And he said, I did. He said, they told me not to cheat with anybody who didn't have anything to lose, which he clearly failed at, and make them sign a contract, an NDA. And she said, and then I had to wonder if Chris is the one who told him that, especially since she was hooking him up with chicks at the gym. I think that's a very good question. And he starts saying, no, cutting her off, not wanting to hear her talk, so he can deny. And then with the swiftness, saying that sounds like something Maurice or Marceau would have him do. Now, my thing is, she talking to you. You're the one, along with Nell, acting so offended that she said they weren't mentors to them. I'm also sitting up here like when you said, oh, that sounds like some more recent Marceau stuff. Why would you know that, Chris? I'm asking seriously, like, why would you know that? And that's where you mess up. You're more involved in this, and what you didn't expect was that it would come back to you. He said, I've been married for 30 years. And I just don't have time for that. I don't know what with this, that, and the other. First of all, we know Martell is not smart enough to have come up with them rules himself. The one, don't cheat with nobody with nothing to lose. He was already doing that. And then the NDA stuff. Somebody did tell him that. He ain't good enough for no lies like that. That was detailed. He said, I've been married for 30 years. I don't have time for that. And Mel goes, at one point you had time for it. I was like, check him. But he clearly got smarter about it. He was like, and if they didn't want people to know about it, honestly, both Nell and Chris make enough money, at least they claim, that they didn't have to get on here reliving the BS for the past 3 seasons. Because honestly, I'm tired of hearing about this one time he cheated that she's still so hurt over, and I can't tell her not to be hurt as his wife. But it also makes me think how affected she gets. That's not all. And that caused a year's worth of separation, almost 2 years worth of a separation. Anyway, so he brought up this vow renewal and tells Mel about it. Mel said, yeah, I know about it. And that she was waiting to RSVP, even though the deadline was 2 days ago. And she said, it depended on what you said. But because I liked your answers, I will RSVP. Then he wants to boss up all of a sudden in the confessional and say he thought that was some bullshit on Mel's part, because now that she's divorced, why does it matter? Why are you and Nell still talking about somebody you were screwing in your 20s? Right. What does that have to do with the vow renewal? Why would she want to be at a vow renewal to support y'all's hypocrisy and y'all playing in her face? That's what it has to do with. But face to face, he was like, I just appreciate you telling me to my face so you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth. But then you want to act like that in the confessional. See, that's some punk ass shit. Anyway, Destiny is doing another damn launch for the Madani. Like, girl, I don't like to tell people to give up on their dreams. I just encourage people to come up with another dream. Anyway, at this point, change the name of Madani or stop inviting the cast when you produce it, because this looks like a cursed failure. And I'm sorry, because I really do like your dad, and I'm sure your grandmother was also a wonderful woman, but like Destiny, you don't have the execution for it, darling. You don't. And we hardly saw really your products. Like, you're not good at pushing that stuff on camera either. If you wanted a successful launch, you should have began by planning not to invite Martell and Marceau. Just let Martell come since he's your friend. So Nell tells her at her launch, all of a sudden we get them all sitting down, and that she wants to invite Sonny to her bachelorette party. She said because Kimmy again told her that you said everybody was invited, so on and so forth. And she said, well, look, I want Sonny to be there. And she was like, okay, I don't care. And she was like, you do care. You do. And she's told her she completely understands that she feels the way she feels. And Nell said, but honestly, it's not my battle to fight. And I have to be honest. The part I disagree with is Nell having this conversation with Destiny at an event that's so important to her. The other part is I agree with Nell. That's not her burden to carry around. And even though I think Sonny's a fake ass bitch, I will also say that it doesn't always feel good to know people have said how they feel about you, talk shit about you, and then everybody else is always like agreeing with them and then therefore treating you badly. But like, I think y'all asking her to invite Sonny and y'all not even rolling with her like that. That's some bullshit. But then again, Destiny, you only fucking with Nell because she was close to Mel, and you trying to do the same thing. Never mind. Anyway, since you trying to do the same thing, I tried. And Destiny says, well, look, I'm going to keep it my end of the bargain, essentially, and host. But I'm going to assess our relationship going forward. And then Kimmy's face drops like, see, that's when I would have said, look, Destiny, I know you're upset, and I'm obviously putting you in a difficult position, which wouldn't be the case if y'all were truly friends, but y'all aren't. The relationship is essentially Mel's grift, okay? And it's probably best, Destiny, that therefore you don't plan it after all. So don't worry about it. I'll figure it out, okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Because let me tell you something. Anybody that's saying that is not going to throw you no good party. It ain't going to be a good party. It's not going to be a good party. And judging from the preview, it looked like there's a lot of space. And that ain't never good neither. All right. So we also find out that Nell's son, we get the men at the table by themselves, has been married twice. I'm only surprised because he just looks young. But he's cute. Then Ken, it would seem like out of nowhere, but I think he's been stewing on this for quite some time. So Ken talks about how most people at the table have been divorced, and many people move on before it's final. And then he asks, so what's so wrong with me and Tisha doing it? I said, ooh. And I think, I'm going to be honest, he's mad, he's pissed, but Ken has been taking it. And I know some of y'all have gotten in the comments saying y'all don't like Ken. I don't dislike Ken. I actually kind of like him. I really do. Especially compared to everybody else on this cast. Anyway, and Maurice and Marceau have a bad habit of bringing up embarrassing relationship information to other people. And he's mad about it. Maurice, why are you having an opinion any fucking way? Okay? I honestly, like I said, I don't have a problem with Ken. What do y'all expect when y'all keep trying to embarrass him publicly? And Tisha is responsible for that as well, because she's brought all of this into it. But I'd rather see Ken going off on men than to see him act like that on Tisha. Okay, I have to be honest. I'm not here for it. So he said, look, I'll get up and leave. The only thing that would hurt me would be leaving the relationship I had with the kids. She can't hurt me. But Marceau, let me tell y'all something. When Marceau is right, Marceau is right. The problem is he's wrong most of the time. But when Marceau is right, he's right, okay? Now, when he said, why are you with somebody who can't hurt you? I said, damn. That was loaded. And that was deep. That was deep. And to put it in the form of a question, that was a deep question. Because we all know that the people who can hurt you the most are often the people you love the most. That's why when family does something to you, why it's so hurtful. Because those people you love the most, the people you trust. And so your expectations are wildly different. And he said, that's cap. It was. But it's cap because y'all also been trying to sun him. Okay? But the Scotts do need to stop getting in the middle of other people's business. And certainly Maurice, with that DUI, should probably quit trying to deflect. Because it's just obnoxious. It's obnoxious and it's tired. So Marceau manages to clear all the women out from wherever they were right there when they were drinking and chilling to do what he does best, gossip with Tisha. Him and his wife love to gossip about what Ken said 2.5 minutes ago. And then Checker Suit Martell comes in. And we already know when Martell comes in, he comes in to blow up the spot. Because he comes in to blow up the spot because that's what narcissists like to do. They love attention. Because we done forgotten that this is Destiny's event. By Nell bringing that up, Ken taking this as time to go off on the whole table. And quite frankly, Madani don't ever really do nothing. So I can't even go in on them for this. Anyway, so Martell comes and sit down. You know, I guess maybe they cleared out because production told them Martell was about to come and sit down. Tisha is getting ready to leave. She's like, I'm not sitting here for this. And Marceau wanted her to stay, and she did. Does it look controlling? Absolutely. If she's uncomfortable, she should be able to get up and go. And as a man, you should handle it. You should have never asked for your wife to stay in that situation. You're not being a protector, Marceau. So while you're worried about Ken's business, worry about your own. But Martell, you is sitting in the confession. All these people have no business talking. That's the thing. The stuff they try to read other people for, they live in just foul. Because Martell's sitting in the confessional calling him a narcissist. That was not the move, sir. It wasn't. Saying Tisha doesn't have a say in the relationship, maybe. But you wanted a wife like that. So don't pull it. Don't pull it. Didn't they look like they were on that same rooftop with Martell told Mel, well, you one of them now. Didn't that look like the same spot? It also looked like the same spot Mel and Martell got into that argument on that boat for Kimmy's wedding. Did they really go to Miami? Or was that like a lake in Birmingham or something? I can't. Anyway, Marceau says, look, the stuff you talking, the rah-rah, all this other stuff, it affects our marriage, right? He brings up that Tisha and Mel were getting into it all the time, said the other. And Tisha said, why were we getting into it? Because you were feeding Mel info about my husband, which was true. That was why they were getting into it. And they were using it as a way to push back and forth against each other. Then Marceau starts telling her to be quiet. I don't like that shit. Why the fuck did you ask her to stay? And then when she brings up something that is important, you're trying to shush her like she's like a 2-year-old speaking loudly in a library or some shit. I don't like that. And then Martell said, wait, no. That's not what happened. Yeah. No, that is what happened. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't skip anything. And then Martell says the fact that you are even accepting him talking to you like this, Tisha, is telling the whole world your wife is slow. I hate that I'm about to say what I'm about to say. But Martell ate with them. And he ain't lying. I'm sorry, and I know it's mean. I know it's mean. I know it's mean. Please, I know it's mean. I don't like to agree with Martell. But honestly, okay, sometimes we gotta call a spade. All right? I'm just I don't even like that I feel that way right now. But I don't have a comeback for it. So I gotta let it ride. Okay? It looks that way. But it looks more like Marceau is controlling. And I think to force your wife to sit there while he spoke about her that way over and over again. And then say, you know what he's trying to do. It doesn't matter. Having to sit there and hear somebody verbally degrade you is a form of abuse. And it's not coming even from you, Marceau. You're letting another man do it. Fuck you. And Tisha got fucked over a lot in this episode. And a real man will see you for that shit. Like y'all got into that fight last time at Madani. And then all of a sudden, Marceau was just letting everybody push him back. Marceau didn't want to fight. And Tisha should not have been subject to that. And that makes Marceau just as bad as Martell. Especially after Martell had already disrespected her like that at the field day. Martell says Marceau wants people to really know he cheated. So Tisha will now have other people knowing. And that makes it easier for him to leave because they can just say it didn't work out. Because he really doesn't want to be married anymore. Now, while I do think that is projection and also wishful thinking on Martell's part, and I think he wants to see everybody else's marriage crumble because his did, based on what he did. Honestly, that's the first time I can at least say that's probably a good chance that's true. I mean, he walking around not wearing his wedding band. She noticed it and brought him to a jewelry store. So it's not like they had an understanding. You know what I mean? So Tisha said, I know, it's because he wishes he had a woman like me. And Martell, y'all, I really hate that this is coming out of my mouth. I'm sorry. Yo, he got her ass. He said, every man wishes he had a woman like you because they can do whatever the hell they want. Yeah, because Martell did want a woman like that. And other men do too. Strong women are not for the weak. I think a lot of men really hate strong women. And certainly strong, smart women. Tisha had to pretend like she needed to go to the bathroom to get away. But Marceau, she shouldn't have had to. You a whole bitch for letting that go down. Marceau so-called ends the argument by telling Martell he's better than him in all aspects of his life. He said because that's the way Martell felt about himself for a long time. And now he kind of is comparing himself always to me. But the thing that makes him compare himself to you is only the marriage. That's what I think. It's not like you're successful really business-wise. I mean, if people go to black, but the city keeps shutting you down, like, ooh, child. That's what I got to say about this. But I am interested in what y'all think. So feel free to comment and let me know what you think. And I will talk to y'all soon enough. Enjoy your weekend. Stay warm wherever you are. All the people out there in California, I really hope that you all get everything you need and that everything will be restored. It's very hard. Those fires have always been there in California like that. And the wildfires to me were always scary. Even though I was never in a place where I was affected. I was in Southern California, but like where I lived. Because it's hard, like you can't predict it, even like a snowstorm or a hurricane. Like it, and it's fire. And so many people are being taken out by it. I don't understand why there was no water in some of those fire hydrants. So that's clearly some level of neglect over who was there. But even if there was, those fires couldn't have been just completely contained. And I want people not to politicize this and say, see, it's the Democratic governor, it's the Democratic mayor of Los Angeles, and all this other shit. I don't care who is in office. It's a lot to handle. And anybody, and I can speak because I lived in California, whether I hated it or not. That's a fucking hard-ass thing to handle because you cannot predict it. This is a natural disaster. No, the thing to blame is global warming and climate change. Therefore, any politicians who deny it and have voted against policies that would protect us from it are to blame. But right now, what we need is as many people as possible getting to safety. Anyway, so, we hope that everything works out for you all and everybody on the East Coast. Stay warm. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.